Hey, welcome my Facebook friends. It is, I believe, January 3rd. I have lost kind of track of the dates because I've been counting my detox days, and yesterday was my official last day on my first phase of the detox. And so as I have promised to keep you guys updated on my journey, I wanted to just share some thoughts with you on my last 3 weeks. And I also wanted to talk to you guys about wandering versus planning, and what does it look like at the end of the life? You know, hi guys, hi Nicole, hi Leah, hi Ansley, good to see you guys. I have a really important message to share with you guys here today, and I really hope it's going to give you a little bit of just brain food, maybe just to stop and examine, and maybe to stop and think a little bit about what this year 2017 is going to look like for you and your family. Well, I finished my 21 days of raw food, juicing, detoxing, and I'm just going to be really honest with you guys. I really had no idea how good I would feel. You know, everyone has their big thing, hi Laura, their big thing that they are very afraid of giving up. For some people it's coffee, that was me. For some people it's the sugar. For some people it's sweet tea, as I have learned now from one of my friends. Her biggest fear is to give up sweet tea. Chocolate, you know, whatever that might be. And so here's kind of the question that I want to ask you guys. How long do you want to be in bondage? You see, it's not about coffee, sugar, sweet tea, candy, pizza, burgers. What it really comes down to is, do I want to be in bondage to substance? You see, we're so eager to call an alcoholic and tell them, you know, that's bad for you, or someone that's on drugs. But what I'm learning, and what I've learned through this journey, is that sugar, excess amount of sugar in our diets, is just as bad as drinking alcohol and taking cocaine drugs. It's just as bad for your brain, and it is actually the #1 source for cancer to be fed in your body. Think about that for a minute, right? How often do we give our kids candy and we have all these sweets in our lives, and we don't even think about that as being the really bad thing? So what have I learned through this journey? And I'm not stopping. I'm going strong into phase 2, and through this journey, many of you have followed me, and we've created this amazing detox, body, soul, and spirit Facebook group. If you're not part of it, jump on, because there's me and 4 other coaches that are really going to take 2017, not just for us to get healthy and to really learn about detoxing all areas in our lives, but we want to take you on this journey with us. We're going to talk about things like regret. And I really want to share with you a book that I'm reading this year. Well, I'm going to read many books, but this is a book that I am reading, and I'm challenging a lot of other people to read alongside with me. Because here's the thing that's happening in our world today. How much time do you sit on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of social media? How many hours, if you were to really put it together, are you spending time on social media that could be spent maybe in a better way? I'm very guilty of that. I can easily lose sight of time in there. And so for me personally, I had this desire to read the books that I've purchased. How many of you have books in your home right now that you're not reading, or maybe that you started and you put it back on the shelf? Well, I'm super guilty of that. I get really excited when I hear about a great book and I buy it, and guess where it goes? In my bookshelf. Does it help my brain at all? No. Does it help my life to get better? No. It's sitting in a bookshelf. So what I decided to do in 2017, so I'm making a public commitment here. I'm all about learning the power of commitment. I'm going to read 5 days a week, at least 15 minutes a day, on a leadership book, or a book that will help me become a better person, a better mom, a better wife, a better leader. Some sorts of helping me to sharpen my saw, helping me to sharpen my skill. I invite you to come with me. And I want to talk today about the end of your life. What if today was the very last day of your life, what regret would you have today? Just imagine it right now. You were told you're going to die today. Many people will meet their death today. Many. They didn't expect that. Whether it's sickness, whether it's a car accident, maybe it is, something that they're not expecting. Maybe they're expecting it. But here's the thing. Here's the question I have. And maybe if you're brave enough, you can actually chat in our box there and let me know what it is. What would be the number one regret that you would have? Now, why not start right there and change something about it? So in this book, it talks about drifting and how drifting can cause a lot of different things in your life. And drifting means you don't have a clear path. You're starting this new year right now and kind of going, let's kind of see what this year is going to do for me, right? Do you have a clear path for 2017? Do you have a mission statement for the year? Do you have a goal set for this year? Have you written it out, or is it just kind of an idea in your brain? I have fought for the longest time in my life not to write things out. I really have. I thought, you know what if I don't achieve it? And what if I don't reach my goal and it's going to feel stupid? And last year I made a commitment last January that I'm going to be very accountable and I'm going to start writing things out. I'm going to write out my own goals. I'm going to write out marriage goals, and I'm going to write out goals that I have with my children. And guess what has happened in 2016? I've reached just about every goal. It has blown me away. So for 2017, I wrote out a mission statement for my business, for my personal life, for my marriage, and I'm working on a life plan. And you know what? That's something that we don't talk enough about. We plan a lot of things, but when do we stop and actually create a life plan? And so what happens is many people drift through life. It's kind of like the wind comes from here and we go over here and then we go over here. And so here's what happens, right? We look back and go, oh, another year. I can't wait for the new year. How many of you have done that? The end of the year approaches and you say, that was the worst year. I just can't wait for the new year to start. I'm so done with this year. And then January 1st comes along and you have all these great ideas in your brain of what you're going to do. You're going to get healthier. You might want to lose some weight. You might want to start your own business. You may want to take some classes. And they're all just ideas and you don't really write them down, and you certainly are not making a plan to achieve them. Because see, when it's just an idea, it's just up there in the clouds, most likely it's never going to happen. It's kind of getting in the car and saying, kids, we're going on vacation. Where are we going? I don't know. We'll just start driving. Well, what's the destination going to be? And how long is it going to take you to get there? Let me tell you the things that happen when you actually drift through life versus having a clear plan. Confusion happens, and not just with you, but the people around you. It's going to be expensive because a lot of things will come your way that you're not prepared for. Lost opportunities. You might not see the opportunities that come your way because you're not focused on goals in life. And so as you're drifting and you're just managing day by day by day and you don't have a clear path, you might lose opportunities that come your way because you're so focused on just the day in and day out of the problems, and you're not really overcoming certain things like fear and really looking for those opportunities. What about pain? It can cost you a lot. And then the fifth thing is regrets. And this is what I want to end with you guys with today. Regrets, I think, is the worst thing in life. And I've made a decision years ago that I won't live with regret. You know, I make mistakes, absolutely. I try things, I work really hard, and I fail at things. And you know what? I always look back and I say, what's the opportunity here? You know, when I discovered that I have this mass in my breast, and I shared this before with you guys, because I know my life path, I know my mission in life, I just knew right then and there I could surrender it to Yahweh, and I knew without a doubt He's going to create opportunity for me to use this for His glory. Well, look at what has happened. People have watched my journey through this 3-week detox, and there's been such inspiration that has happened that people are now saying, I want to start too. And guess what happened? We're almost 600 members strong in this group where people are absolutely saying, you know what? I want to do this. I want to get healthy. I want to kick my habits. And you know what? There's nothing bad about coffee. Many people have asked me, was coffee so bad? No, but you know what? I was a slave to coffee. And I don't want that. The only one that I want to depend on is my Messiah, Yeshua, and I want to be dependent on him with everything in me. That's it. And so whatever you right now have in your life that you wake up and you say, I need this, I'm going to encourage you to try to beat that habit. You know what happens when you do it? I feel victorious. I feel so good that when I wake up, I don't have any substance that I feel like I need. I go and make my tea, I have my juice, I have my raw vegetables. I feel really good. My body is feeling good and I'm craving live food. So here are some regrets that you might have at the end of life if you're not taking charge. If only I had eaten better, exercised more, and taken better care of my body. How many people today watching this, I would love to know, currently live with that regret already? How many of you would say, I right now feel regretful the way I have treated my body? I know I've abused my body with food. I know I have abused my body because I didn't exercise. I have taken things into my mouth that is not good for me. I right now live with that regret. How many of you are in that boat right now? Well, you know what? If you recognize that already, why not make today be the day that you make a decision no more? I'm the owner of this body. It is the temple of the Holy Spirit if you choose to follow Yeshua, and I'm going to do something about it. Guess what? You can. And if you need help, just come in our group and we'll help you. We're desiring to helping people live the life that they were meant to be, because I'm here to tell you, you were made for greatness. When you read Psalms and it says, I've made you fearfully and wonderful, he designed you perfect and beautiful. And maybe you haven't heard that in a while, but let me tell you something. You were made for greatness. I believe that with all of my heart. I was made for greatness, and I don't want to waste life. I don't want to waste one single day because I'm drifting and I don't have a clear path of where I'm going. If only I had spent more time learning another language, maybe visiting other places or reading books to educate myself. You guys, I'm a 9th grade high school dropout. Never finished 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I don't have a GED. I don't have a single piece of paper that says you're smart. Nothing. I have no degree whatsoever. But you know what? For the last 20 years, I've committed to education. I've committed to self-educate and to learn from other people that have gone before me. I love reading about successful people, what their habits are, what are they doing to become great. That's what I've committed to for 20 years, and it has really, really served me well. I don't need a piece of paper that says you finished XYZ, because guess what? Through the amount of education that we have available right now, there's no excuse that you can't better your skills. You have it right at your fingertips. If only I had spent more time connecting with my spouse rather than talking and seeking to understand others than being understood. You guys, that is huge. What if we all made the commitment to seek to understand rather than to be understood? Do you know how huge of a life change that will happen in your life, in your marriage, with your children? When your desire is to understand first rather than always trying to push your point. Huge life change when I made that decision. Don't wake up one day with the regret of lost friendships, lost relationships because you rather wanted to be right than having relationships. What if I'd only spend more time with my children, going to their games, recitals, taking them camping, fishing, explaining how to navigate through life? You guys, I was once in a party plan business, and you know, it says work from home. I was never home. I worked 5 years, my heart out. I earned lots of awards. I was a national top recruiter. I was a top seller, and I have huge regrets over those 5 years that I was with that company. Because you know what? As much as it was at-home business, it wasn't. I was always gone. I didn't tuck my kids into bed that night. Many nights. I was gone for many, many years, really trying to make money, and really with that whole covering of being an at-home business. Huge regrets. And you know what? One day I woke up and I said, it's not worth it. I want to do something that I can do from home, where I can actually be with my children. And 10 years ago, I found that opportunity where I can be at home, have a full-time income, and still have my kids around. Now they're in college and we still have a couple of teenagers at home, but I'm always present because I've figured out a way to make it happen. But you know what? I learned from my regrets. Where are you right now? Are you happy where you're at right now? Do you feel like you're fulfilling your life's mission right now? Are you the best mom that you were called to be? Are you the best wife that you were meant to be? Or is there things going on right now that are keeping you from moving forward and really doing the things that you were called to be? If only I had been brave enough to launch out and start my own business. Well, you guys, that's no regret at all. I started my first business at age 19 and no fear, no regret there because I learned a lot. But some people are holding back because they're afraid. And let me tell you something. I don't believe it's fear as much as it is a feeling of the unknown. You see, the feeling of the unknown holds us back a lot. Don't let that stop you in the tracks. Go after it. So what if you fail? Success is built on a mountain of failure. And you know what? The whole quote that I love is, what if I fail? What if I fly and I fail? You know what my answer to that is? But what if you spread your wings and fly? What if you chose to embrace 2017 and you do the things that you have never dared to do? And you're going to say, you know what? No more fear. No more holding me hostage to that. I'm going to spread my wings, and yeah, I might fail a little along the way, but you're going to learn through failure. Don't ever label yourself that. It's all a learning process. If only I had been more generous, giving of my time, talents, money, trying to help those in need. You know what? I made a commitment years ago to my Lord and Savior, Yeshua, and I said, as long as I live, I want to serve you by serving people. And when my time is done, when I can't do that anymore, then just take me home. Because I don't want to be on planet Earth wasting time to accumulate stuff, to just chase after the next almighty thing. I made a decision years ago that my heart, I want to be a servant server. So that when I stand before Yahweh one day and he looks at my life, my desire is to have him say, well done, my faithful servant. Come and enter in. You see, that is something that was a compass for me years ago. But I needed to sharpen my skills. I needed to look for opportunity to serve. I needed to pray through some stuff that was in my heart that had to be thrown out before I could be an effective servant. You can't serve with pride. You can't serve if you have selfish ambition. If you put others first and you truly want to serve others and your heart is moving towards that, I believe that Yahweh will give you so much opportunity that you can barely handle it. People ask me often, how do you do everything, Irma? How do you lead these groups? And how do you do your work? And how can you be an effective mom and wife? I really do believe in supernatural powers. And you might think I'm crazy, but that's what I believe. It's my Facebook wall. I get to share whatever I want, right? I believe in supernatural powers. I believe in supernatural timing. And I believe that when your heart is to serve and you have a compass to serve others, that the Father will multiply your time. I have experienced it over and over again. I never concern myself, will I get everything done today? You know what my motto is for the day? Whatever I can get done today will get done and will pick up again tomorrow. I never stress myself out. Why? Because what's the point? What's the point? To get stressed and then stress the people around you. Get done what you can get done. Make it a mission to kick the habits that are holding you hostage. Figure out today what would be your biggest regret. And then you know what you do with that? Change it. Whatever that regret is, if you're not spending enough time with your kiddos, figure out how you change your schedule so that you will. Time is flying by, you guys. My son is turning 20 this year. It is all but a breath and then it's over. Whatever it is right now that is holding you down, something that you have regret with, if you're having regret with the way you've treated your body, come and join our group. I would love for you to be part of that. It's positive, it's motivating, and we're really helping people to have a clear path on where they want to go. So with that, you guys, I am entering phase 2 in my detox. 80% raw, 20% cooked, lots of juicing still. I will continue to keep you updated, but my desire for this message today is figure it out. What is holding you back? Do you have a life plan? Do you have a mission for this year? And if you don't, it's time to put it on paper. Write it out, post it on the wall where you can see it, and then make 2017 a year that is actually going to be lived positively with a purpose versus drifting through another year. Life is precious and you don't want to waste one day. Make it happen today, you guys. Thanks for letting me share my thoughts today. Have a fantastic day.